I'm going to show you how to install beams and posts for a carport. The tools I need are a drill, a saw, a level, nail gun and some nails, some sawhorses, my safety equipment, clamps and some screws and a pencil and a tape measure. First thing I'm going to show you is how to check out a flat post. First thing we need to do is measure down the distance of the beam you're using. In this case we're using 240mm, and then square that across. Then the size of the beam is 45mm, so if we set our square at 45mm, we can use that as a guide and run down this side of the beam, and we can use that to do our checkout. So if we just square a line down here and the same on the other side, we're nearly ready to cut it out. The reason we're doing this checkout is because the beam sits in this checkout when we put the post up. Okay, now that that's cut, we can knock this out. Okay, now I can just chisel all these rough little bits out. This is your first side post. To make it into a corner post, just flip it up and mark 45 down there, and then cut that out and it'll turn it into a corner post. And now this is the corner cut out. Now we've got to cut the rest of the corners and the side posts as well, and then we'll start standing them up and putting the beams in. Okay, I'm going to get Mick to come and give me a hand. He can help hold the post up and hold the level as well. When you're putting your post in, make sure it's in the middle of your post support, evenly on both sides, and make sure you've got the checkout on the outside. We're just going to use some of these screws and screw through the bottom while Mick holds the level and keeps the post plumb and level. It's important that your post is level and plumb, or otherwise your whole carport could be out of level and plumb as well. We're using screws that are on our plans. It's best to check your plans to make sure that you're using the right ones. Okay, we've got our post in. We're going to put some braces on it just to keep it nice and plumb, and then we can put the beam in. A brace can be anything, a piece of timber, it just stops it from moving around. We've got the brace on this post, we just need to do that one. Once we get this beam in through here, that'll support these two and it'll support the rest of them as well. Okay, the next step is to lift our beam up that we've cut to length onto our posts that are fixed, and I'll need my mate Mick to give me a hand to lift it up. Now we've got the beam up, I'm just going to shoot a couple of nails into it just to hold it in place, and we'll screw it off later. Now that we've got the first beam up, we'll repeat the process on all the beams and then we'll screw them off. Our beams we've cut on a nice 45-degree miter, so that when you join them together, you get a nice sharp corner on the outside. Now that we've got all our beams in, we're going to screw them together with our batten screws. I'm just going to mark the face of this beam so that I can put the screws in, and then I'll mark the other side in a different spot so that the screws don't hit together. I finished screwing off my first post and beams, and now I'm going to continue on with the rest of them.